Окей. Всім привіт. Чи видно, чутно мене? Hello, guys. Поставте плюсики в чатик, якщо нормально чутно так. Хорошо. Okay. Hello. It's like in German. Yep. Okay. Okay. Окей. Добрий день. Окей. Окей. Клас. Все прекрасно, все працює, я таке люблю, тож давайте починати. Одразу хочу сказати, що курс ми будемо проводити англійською мовою, тому я одразу свідчуся. So, yeah, be ready to listen only in English, be ready to speak and write also in English, so I hope everything will be fine. So, I want to say welcome to our IT English Boost, and I'm really glad to be here speaking to you, and I already see that you are super talkative audience, because so many replies to such a short period of time. That's amazing. And several words about this course. So this course is designed for professionals in tech, like developers, QAs, analysts, designers, like everyone who wants to speak about their work in English, like more clearly, more confidently, and more naturally. Because English, it's not only about the vocabulary, or the grammar that you use, it's about how you apply this tool in your professional life, in general in your life. So yeah. So not to sound like, this ChatGPT structured stuff or something. So over the next lessons, I want to say that we will work on the topics of how to talk about your background, how to explain what you're doing now in your professional and career, how to answer interview questions, which is also important stuff, and how to sound clear in meetings, reviews, or even, this Slack communication or whatever messenger you're using. So, this no school style lessons, no irrelevant grammar, irrelevant vocabulary, just real work focused English that's built around the tech people who actually want to speak. So let's get started. And before we go, just briefly what we are going to cover. So more importantly, and how it will help you at work and how it will help you to apply it to your life even. Because again, this is not just a regular English course. This is about how you communicate as a tech professionals, like in real situations, really. So here, first of all, we see confident communication. So we'll start at how to present your background clearly, whether you are in stand-up, whether you're writing a bio about yourself or just talking to a recruiter. And you'll also learn how to describe your tech stack in a way that sounds structured and confident, not like you're, listing the tools of your CV. That doesn't work, Okay, next one is team and client communication. We'll work on what to say in meetings, especially again, stand-ups, retros, and calls with clients. And you will learn how to talk about deadlines, different blockers, and progress without this over explanation of your steps, over giving the details, or sounding unsure about your words, and how to actually adapt when you're speaking to someone non-technical, like the majority of people. So yeah, and clear explanations. The next one, this part is about explaining your thinking, not just what you did, but why. In English, all the time when my team comes to me, all the time when my team comes to me with some idea, I always ask the question, "Nasha, shop." So this is why. Why are we doing it? Why are we going to implement it? Which is important. And we'll work on how to give feedback in code reviews, how to talk through bugs and issues in a way that's useful and not like vague. Oh, I have a problem here. And what? What do you want to say with that? You have a problem with what exactly? We'll cover it. In the next one, job interview mastery. So finally, my best favorite part, we'll practice answering these typical interview questions, but naturally, not like ChatGPT, not like Google Translate when you try to translate from Ukrainian into English, and not by memorizing the scripts, which is the most important, and not robotic answers. You will learn how to sell your experience in a way that's honest, that is structured, and that is easy to follow. So I think that finally we can start. Oh, I see. I see the levels. A2 plus minus A1, A2. Okay. I will speak slower in this case. And if you don't understand anything, that's absolutely fine to just clarify. Okay, B2 plus. I like that it's A2. So different levels all the time, yeah? Okay. A2, B2. I mean, what's the difference, yeah? I have a friend and he answers the question, this question, what's your English level? He all the time answers like from A1 to C1. I don't know, from A1 to C1. So something in the middle somewhere. So yeah. Okay. So again, if I say something not clear or you want to clarify, just stop me. It's totally fine. Okay. A few words about me before we move on. I am Alina. Nice to meet you all. I'm the head of the academic department at Solid English School, and I work with tech professionals like every day, like helping them speak more clearly, confidently, and effectively in English. Also, I've been teaching English for over 5 years, and this year is the 6th one. And especially, I specialize in business English and English for IT. So, yeah, I love your comments. I hold a Cambridge CELTA certification with PAS A. If you're not familiar, what's that? It's a qualification for English teachers, and PAS A, it's top grade. So like, it's, good result, Also, over the years, I've developed courses for general English C1, like business English, and communication in tech teams, both for group learners and corporate clients. And outside the classroom, I speak at webinars and training events, helping my teams and other teams improve how they collaborate, present, and speak up in their roles. So, also, if you'd like to connect, feel free to find me on LinkedIn. The QR code is on the slide. I'm always open to questions and some conversations. So, you're ready. The duration of the webinar, it's about 30 minutes. Yeah, so there are 20 minutes left. Let's not waste our time. And actually, I see that some of you write that you studied German at school. I also studied German, but unfortunately, I cannot lead the webinar in this language. So sorry, I have to be just in English. So talking about your tech background, let's start with something simple. For many professionals, this part feels awkward. Like either it's hard to explain everything clearly, or it sounds too long or too short or too formal or too simple. But here's the truth. This one is the most important skill you need in English. Whether you're an interview, stand up, or just introducing yourself to a new team, your ability to talk about you and what you've done and what you're good at and how you work sets the tone of how others see you. And in this section, I'll walk you through simple, practical structure that you can use like anywhere. You don't need to memorize anything. We'll build just these our versions on practice, and I will give you some phrases that you will be able to implement already in practice and using this chat. Yeah, so I already see that you're super active in the chat, and I love it. That's amazing. Okay, let's finally start. So why do we start with your background? I mean, because in most situations, especially in English, it's not enough to, just do your job well. You always need to be able to talk about it clearly, to explain it clearly. And not just for interviews. This comes up more often than people expect. Because first of all, that builds trust, as we see here in the first one. When you're in a meeting or a job interview, your ability to explain what you've done and how you worked is a signal. And if you sound clear and focused, people are more likely to trust your decisions and take you seriously. The second, because it helps you stand out. Most candidates or team members sound absolutely the same. They sound so similar that it's even difficult sometimes to distinguish between the candidates, like who said what. They say things like, I worked on some features, I used JavaScript, but when you speak with structure, even just for 30 seconds, you immediately sound more prepared and more confident, even if your English is not perfect. And I remind you that perfect English is not obligatory, something that we need to successfully live in English. I would formulate it this way. And third, it gives clarity. Especially you clarity. When you can explain your experience in a simple, in a direct way, it changes how you feel about yourself. You stop doubting what you say. You stop worrying about sounding awkward. You just focus on the message. So we stop overthinking. Actually, this is what we're going to work on next. Not the theory, but through the structure and the practice, because structure makes perfect, like practice. Here I describe the main situations where we need to speak about our background, but actually I just voiced them so we can move on. Lovely. So how to structure? And here I want to say, let's be honest. Most people are not great at talking about their experience, like at all. They either over-explain, like give so many details that are not relevant and not important at all, or they undersell, like give not enough information at all. So they say too much or just not enough, or they jump between random tools, job titles, and timelines. So here's a simple structure you can use. Like anytime someone asks you, like, tell me a bit about yourself, or tell me about a bit about your background, and let's see how it works. First, tag role or project. So the first step, it's not your full CV. So just the first moment when it became real, like maybe it was your first job, a boot camp, or freelance project. For example, you can say, I started my career as a front-end developer at XYZ company, working with React and JavaScript. So that sounds simple, that sounds professional, without any over-explanation. Then technologies and tools you actually used. So do not list random skills. Say what you used and what you used it for. For example, like you see here, I completed a boot camp in data science and built machine learning models with Python, particularly what you used and what for. Then main responsibility, like what was your part? What did you build, fix, test, or improve? For instance, I created personal projects like a weather app, a task manager using ODGC, and again, no drama, no buzzwords, just real experience. And if you had to use the structure for yourself right now, how would these 3 points sound? So I want you to tell me about yourself. The video will be available. So I would like you to tell me about your past experience right now in the chat. You're welcome, please. And I will comment on them, whether they're good or what can be improved. So how would you describe your experience, guys? I mean, past experience. Because, I myself sometimes hesitate speaking about my past because I feel a bit awkward when oversharing or something, but this is our ability to present it clearly. So how would you talk about your past? Drop some comments in the chat. I hope that you are writing like really big replies. Okay, I started my career journey as a front-end developer. I have some experience working with Angular JS, Angular 2+, and React. Wow, that looks good. That looks amazing. Then I am working here. I'm working. It's like right now. Right now, we will talk about later. We're talking about past here. Start my career as a web designer, as a freelancer. And what did you do? What did you do as a web designer? So what were the technologies that you used? What were your main responsibilities? I completed practice at Cyber Bionics, using English, fixed some bugs, working with TypeScript. Okay, that would be relevant if it's not prohibited by you in the end to mention what particular bugs you fixed, with what particular problems and challenges there were. Just some, okay, lovely. Then a complete C# start course, sorry for my dog, and try to build programs to encrypt data information like password. I love this one. This is super informative. Like, not oversharing, no undersharing, just adorable. Lovely. Also, here I prepared for you some info in the moment that you say, but Alina, I don't have the experience. What should I do? If you don't have the experience, for sure, you have the courses that you completed, right? So you can say, I completed a bootcamp in data science where, and here you share what exactly you did. I built machine learning models and visualized data with Python and Pandas. So you still have something to share. It's impossible that you do not have the past experience. I mean, what are you doing here? I mean, I do not have the experience of a developer, so at all. That's why I never go to interviews, right? So you completed the course, you did some courseworks on the course. That's why you always have something to share. So yeah, don't doubt yourself. And let's move on. Present. Oh, this is amazing. So here, this is usually the hardest part for learners to talk in English, because because they don't know what they do, but because they are not sure how to say it simply and professionally. So it doesn't matter whether you're working full-time, freelance, and just learning, the same structure applies. So first, your current role and the company. Like, you don't need to describe the company. Just state your role clearly. For example, I'm currently working as a full-stack developer at ABC company. The same I can say about myself. I'm currently working as a head of the academic department at Solid English School. Okay. Then, next one, tools and technologies. You want to mention the tools you actually use on a daily basis. Not everything you know, like not everything. For example, my daily tool includes Selenium for automation, GRF task management, and Postman for API testing. So this already says a lot, not just about your stack, but about the kind of work that you are doing, kind of tools, and how your tools interact with your work done. And next, what you're responsible for. So try to describe what you do, not just the tasks, but the purpose. For example, I analyze data sets, create visual reports, and provide insights for business decisions. So you present the outcome of your work, why you work. Answer this question for yourself. So, and again, like if you're not working anywhere yet, don't apologize for that. If you're learning, building personal projects, or contributing to open source, say that confidently. You can say, I'm currently learning Python and contributing to GitHub projects to expand my skills. Because this sentence shows, this initiative, your focus, your honesty, and that's even more impressive than you think. So, a question to you. How would you describe your current experience in 1 or 2 sentences? Just using these examples. My gosh, you have so many replies. I love it. If only I had time to comment on all of them. Okay. Administration lesson, C# and web program. My first code was, that was amazing. Corvus Vinzo, you have an amazing answer. Okay, next one. I'm currently upgrading my skills in Angular to find job. I'm watching some videos and tutorials, also development test sites. Okay, that sounds nice. What I would improve here, what videos and tutorials are you watching of what exactly? How exactly are you trying to implement it? What do you do when saying that I'm developing test sites? Like, how exactly? So also answer this question when presenting your present experience. And then I continue to work on my terms project to trauma management system. Thank you. To learn all the possibilities because C# I'm a developer. Lovely. What for? They love asking questions like, why do you want it? And by the way, we will speak about future in a while. Monitoring, configuring devices, automation, listening to people problems. I mean, why do you listen to people problems? I mean, that's a nice one. I love it. But why do you need to? Then I'm currently learning business process for the foreign market. Okay, that's good. And what technologies are you using? Also, might have mentioned that. Main responsibility, so also would be possible. Sherlock Holmes. That's amazing. I'm 17 years old. I'm studying at Go IT front-end course and have participated in 2 projects side of the Go IT course. Amazing. That is lovely. And I like that you combine past experience and your present experience, how you still contribute. That looks perfect. Then I'm currently improving my skills in game development way with tutorials about Unity game engine in the near future. We're not speaking about future now. Not now. But generally, again, what tools are you using for that? How exactly, what technologies? Yeah, I know that you mentioned about Unity Games Engine, but how exactly do you do this? What are your responsibilities? Again, if you even work for yourself, you still can describe your responsibilities, why you do this for yourself, what you do, how you do this, and so on and so forth. Okay, guys, I'm again surprised, and I'm super happy that you're so active. So I have so many ideas to discuss. I had a pause, and currently I'm trying to find a new job. Why? They will ask you the question, why? Why the new job? Why particular this job? Why particular this company? So also be prepared. But again, about the interviews, we'll speak in next lesson. So don't overthink here. Finally, future. Oh, they love these questions. People usually skip this part. Or they feel uncomfortable expressing that because they might say, oh, I don't know exactly what I want, or I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be. But here's the thing. your goals don't have to be final. You just need to communicate the direction where exactly you're moving. And that's what the particular structure helps you with. So first step, your career goals. Think of the roles or position you're working toward. So not what sounds good, but what sounds right for you. For example, again, we see here the specific roles like senior developer, team lead, DevOps engineer, and I can say, I'm working towards becoming a senior developer or eventually taking on some team lead's role. So this shows clarity, even if the goal is like 2-3 years away. That shows people that you know what you want and know the direction where you are moving. So it's not just like, okay, today I'm a developer, tomorrow I'm a tattoo master or someone. I mean, you know your direction where you're moving. Step 2, the kinds of projects you want to build. So that's interesting. Like, what kind of problems do you want to solve? What areas feel exciting or meaningful for you? Describe it. For instance, I plan to build my own web apps using modern front-end technologies, or I'd love to work on tools that improve developer productivity. So that sounds real, not generic. So do not give the answers like, I want to make the world a better place to live in. No, particular examples, projects you want to work on. And the next, the technologies that you want to learn. So, because I'm absolutely sure you will agree with me, there are so many things to learn in our life. And you don't have to be an expert here to mention, but you need to show your curiosity, your interest, and your focus area, because that makes you sound proactive, not reactive, and more self-aware. For example, I am currently focusing on machine learning and AI development, something like that. Or one more example, I want to get more confident with TypeScript and system design. And here you can mention why exactly. So what's one area, guys, you actually want to grow into? I want to say that don't think about trends or to sound impressive. Think about what you're generally curious about and drop in the comments if you like sharing. I'd love to see your direction. So speak about your future goals right now, and I will try to comment on everything. My goal is to become a DevOps network engineer. Okay, exactly. You may also explain your motivation. What exactly? I mean, what problems do you want to solve becoming a DevOps network engineer? So, because sometimes, I won't say sometimes, that can always be a game changer, really. I mean, mentioning why exactly you are striving for something. Okay, it's a funny one. Okay. Okay, I'm focusing on finding stable job in a company as a front-end developer. I plan to fix bugs and add some functional on the website. Okay. What I like here is that you have clear intention, like front-end developer in the company. Then you action-oriented, as I see. You want to fix issues, you want to contribute, and this is great. Then I like that you sound, this honest and simple, like great base to build. What we can think on is maybe instead of fixing bugs, improve functionality, but fix bugs, that sounds vague. What particular bugs and what particular, give some ideas, give some examples. Yeah. So yeah, but generally love it. I'm aiming to be a senior full stack developer. Why? They will ask you why. Why do you want it? What projects do you want to work on? What technologies do you want to learn to work as a senior full stack developer? Then I'm eager to grow as a full stack engineer and have more broad view for problem solving. Okay, that sounds a bit of a philosophical way, kind of, I love it. But what I want to comment in here, again, that sounds simple and I love it. That's really strong intention. You show strong intention and the tone. I like that it is focused. So also your ambition is clear here, like grow as a full stack engineer. You mentioned your mindset, like broad view for problem solving. And I like that the tone is actually motivated here. I mean, guys, I think that you would agree with me. What we can improve here, you can specify what exact problems you want to solve. For example, I want to grow as a full stack engineer and learn to approach problems from both front end and back end sides, like that. So just specify a bit. I want to improve my knowledge in Python in web development. Why? What particular do you want to improve with it? Yeah. So think about why exactly do you need this skill? What project do you want to work on with this skill? What do you want to solve in this life with this skill? But I like that, again, you mentioned the technology. So your motivation is clear here. And you mentioned the area where exactly the technology is going to be implemented, like web development. Plus here, love it, focusing on architecture, but like solid in developing 2D games. Oh, 2D games, I love them. And common improvements in C# coding. Whoa. I mean, no comments here. What I can mention, focus in architecture. I like that it's actually, for people who will listen to it, that will sound like you're quite technically aware. And I love the way you mentioned the clear technical focus, like architecture patterns, solids, also some specific domains like 2D games development, some technology you mentioned like C#. So this shows both the structure and code quality, like great combo. Amazing. That's why I would say instead of common improvements, you can say coding practices or code quality, because that will sound more natural and professional in English. So yeah, then think about question. This is one more, like think about question why you do this and what for. Okay, guys, that was so great. And actually, I didn't notice that the time flew so fast. I'm awfully sorry. But yeah, 33 minutes. Sorry for taking 3 minutes of your time. But I want to reflect a bit, because remember, this course is a mini one, like 30 minutes only. So we will continue, like digesting this diversity of English in IT tech on Thursday. And now I would ask you to reflect on what we've done. I want you to think about some of these questions that I prepared. First question is, what was the most useful thing you learned today? Like, was it a phrase, a mindset shift, or maybe a new structure, new words, new ideas to present yourself? So what have you learned? 30 minutes is way too little. I get it. But we are two busy people, right? So at least 30 minutes, that's absolutely great. Let me learn. Okay. Lovely. Great. Yaroslav, to be or not to be? Shakespeare question, yeah? So, guys, what was the most useful thing that you learned today? Or maybe the most interesting? Structure, how to tell about our experience. Yes, exactly. Remember, past, present, future. Past, present, future. So this is the standard we have to stick to. Okay. And If you have any questions, you are absolutely welcome to ask me. I will be so grateful to answer them. I mean, if you have. And what we'll do today, so after this session, after this lesson in our Telegram chat, our managers will publish the materials, the additional materials to the session, and some kind of a homework, so the quiz, to check how well you listen to me, to check the understanding of the structure, and to give you a real implementation of this new structure we just talked about. So yeah, great useful patterns to describe yourself. Question: why is the most important vague questions? Question: why is the most important and vague question to answer? Again, it's a philosophical one. You know what they actually check? They check whether you can explain it to yourself, why you do this, what's your particular motivation of doing it. Specifically what you learn and what your career is going. Thanks for submitting. If I'm teaching it solid, sometimes that happens. Roman, sometimes that happens. Checked if I understood everything. Okay. Structures like I'm focusing on and background. Okay. And guys, any questions? If you don't have a question to me, just put a minus in the chat so I know that all was good. And I can start preparing for a next session. No questions. I'll consider it as a good sign. That means that I answered all the particular questions that might have appeared. So, minus. Okay. Okay. Oh, we have a question. Oh, I love it. How not to confuse responsibilities with achievements. So, we have to understand that responsibilities, it's actually what you are expected to do, like your daily tasks, your job description, or what your role requires. For example, write unit tests for backend services or participate in daily stand-up meetings. This is your responsibility. These are generic. Anyone in that role would do the same, absolutely the same. And achievements, it's what impact you made. They are the results, the contributions, the improvements that you brought. Like think about value, numbers, or some changes that you made. For example, I increased test coverage from 40 to 70%, reducing the production bugs by, how much I said, 40 then 30%. Or let me think more in the examples. I refactored legacy codes, like improving the load time by 2x. Like the particular, the personal, the measurable ideas. So, thanks for tea. What is it? I heard a lot about this, but I don't understand what I... English for IT. What are you talking about? Like the general statement, English for IT? Yeah? I mean, that's a great question. English for IT, what I would answer if we're speaking about the language here, it's not, you're welcome. It's not totally a new language. It's just English adapted for people working in tech, developers, testers, designers, and so on and so forth. Because as a developer, you do not need to know 40 variations of how to say fork or plate in English. So that's just not relevant for you. So English for business, English for tech, it's more relevant. Teachers say a lot, I can teach you. Yeah, exactly. So that's what they mean. They mean that they will teach you the particular vocabulary terminology like bug, deploy, refactor, CI/CD pipeline, and so on. The communication skills like explaining the code, describing bugs, writing commit message, and so on and so forth. So particular to you for your needs. And the last question that I will answer today, sorry guys, how many sentences are sufficient to answer the question, tell us more about yourself in an interview, at least approximately? I would say from 3 to 5 questions, it's usually a good range. That's enough to mention your current role and background, highlight your key experience and skills, and to show your motivation and current goals. It's totally enough, like from 3 to 5 sentences, not that many. I mean, you're not given a webinar on the topic of, let's listen about myself. Interesting thing. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, lovely. Guys, sorry for taking 10 minutes of your time. That was a pleasure. And see you all on Thursday. So see you. Bye.